I'm going to transition now. I'm going to transition to the part of the program that is about like Ask Me Anything. And I want to talk about a question that came in about this Mars retrograde. And I want to say this. For the next month, 4 weeks, Mars is basically hanging out at the same degree. And the degree is 17-ish degrees of Cancer. Mars is going to slow all the way down. It's going to station direct next week on February 23rd. But it's basically just hanging out at this 17th degree of Cancer for 4 weeks. Y'all, that's bananas. And this is what happens when Mars stations, when it changes signs. But if you have something 16, 17, 18, 19 degrees of Cancer, but really like 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, let's put it on those 3 degrees. Whew, you're going to feel this. And, a lot of you won't have anything there. But if you do, please go check your chart on the Chani app or on chani.com and see if you have a planet or a point or anything around this degree. Because Mars is just going to be sitting there. It's just going to be grinding its high heel into that planet or point. And it's really important for us to do some really good excavation work, to do some digging work, to do some poking around work in terms of whatever Mars is sitting on. Now, you don't have to have anything at 17 degrees of Cancer because 17 degrees of Cancer falls in everybody's chart somewhere. It might be an empty space, but it's still there. It's still in a certain part of your chart. So for Aries rising, that's the 4th house of home and family. Taurus rising, that's the 3rd house of communications, daily rituals, siblings and extended family and good friends that feel like siblings. For Gemini rising, it's the 2nd house of money, assets, resources, how you make a living, what you do with your stuff. Cancer rising, it's your 1st house of body and self. Leo rising, it's your 12th house of behind the scenes stuff, hidden enemies. I know that sounds weird, but it really is like the hidden enemies either in yourself, like in your own psyche, like your own self-saboteurs, or, I don't love to talk about this kind of stuff, but people that don't have like goodwill for you. We need to understand when and where that's true. Sometimes when something happens significant in our 12th house, we can be like, oh, I thought but we were not. Okay, good to know. Then we get to Virgo rising. This is Mars stationing, just sitting in your 11th house of friends and groups and associations. Libra rising. This is your 10th house of career, public roles, reputations, how the world sees you. Then we've got Scorpio rising. This is your 9th house of long-term plans. What is meaningful to you? Publishing, teaching, learning, spirituality, your dream life. Please pay attention to your dreams. Please, Scorpio rising, pay attention to your dreams. Sag rising. This is about 8th house of grants, funding, taxes, debts, loans. Pay attention to all that financial stuff and just know that if something is sticky there, it will move, but it might take a couple of weeks. It's also your 8th house of grief and realizing what it is we still have yet to grieve. We all have grief. It's the human condition. Capricorn, 7th house of relationships, commitments, committed partnerships, business, platonic, personal, romantic, doesn't matter. Whoever you're committed to. It's where Mars is just hanging out there. Aquarius rising, we've got your 6th house health. Really want you to pay attention to your health, inflammation, anything that feels like too riled up in your system. We got to bring it down, but also work and work life and stress and managing and being of service, and managing all that. Then we've got Pisces rising. This is your 5th house of children. The children in your life, any children you might work with, also reproductive health and well-being, really caring for that part of your body, self situations, and also your creative projects. So whatever I just named there for you, I want you to think about these things. Mars is just going to be hanging out at this place. So you might have a planet there, you might not. Doesn't matter. It's happening somewhere in your chart over the next 4 weeks. We're going to have to meditate on something, right? We're being held in place somewhere in our life. Not everywhere. There's all these other things going on. There's all, there's all this other activity this week. It has nothing to do with the Mars retrograde. But in the area of your chart that contains Cancer, we're being held in place somewhere for good reason. It's not because the universe or our life wants us to suffer. It's because we're supposed to dig deeply into something and understand it on an emotional level, understand the security issues that come up because of it, understand what it is we're supposed to be pivoting around, what it is we're supposed to be transforming, alchemizing, moving through, doing something difficult in regards to, but difficult that is important to do. Okay, it's difficult, fine. It will be really good once it's done. It'll be really good to have done it. It will be really important to have been in this process. Because it's Cancer, again, it's sensitive. It brings us down to our deepest core issues about fitting in, about being part of a family, about belonging. Belonging is the word I really want to use. Cancer is about belonging. Who do we belong to? Who loves us? Who's going to nurture us? Who's going to feed me? Who's going to clothe me? Who's going to house me? How am I going to get these needs met? And so it's about how we can reparent ourselves in this area of our life or within these relationships or within this context. It's about how we can do the hard and necessary thing that's going to grow us into some kind of next version of our own parenthood, our own parenting. Imagine your life if you were the absolute best parent of yourself. What would you feel like? What would life be like? Life is harrowing. The world is harrowing. And if you met all of that stuff out there every day, knowing that you have met your own needs, what kind of parent and boss and coworker and neighbor and citizen and family member and friend and comrade and anything, any label that you have, what kind of person would you be in all of those relationships? That's part of this goal. And I will say this again, till I am blue in the face or until June. The hard things that we do right now in the area of our chart that contains Cancer or in regards to the area of our life that connects with the part of our chart that Mars is retrograding through, we're going to be so happy we did that work come June. Because come June, the opposite thing happens. As hard as this is right now, come June, we're going to get a lot of blessings. And I think it's tied to the tough stuff that we do right now. So I go into great depth in this in your year ahead reading. We'll talk about it a lot next week, both here and also in terms of your individual readings. So I hope that those are helpful. And also for now, the full moon in Leo dominates, reminding us that where this full moon happens also is a part of our chart that we are meant to shine into, that we are meant to illuminate. So when you listen to your reading for this week, think about the part of your chart that this full moon is happening in and how you are in your life over the span of your life, learning how to shine in this area. And this full moon is going to give you and me a breakthrough about it. So we're going to tune in from Sunday all the way to Thursday, because there's going to be something that we're going to be like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. And that's what we want. We want to think about something in a different way. We want to have a paradigm shift or something that changes our mind, that helps us to think about something in a more radically free way. Because if anything, Uranus wants us to be free, wants us to be able to think outside the box, act outside the box, be outside the box of conformity. And that's, good for Leo because it's quite shiny out there. All right, y'all, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I will see you back here next time. Bye for now.